Another big week coming up in hockey. Michael, we've got in the A-men, we've got the Strikers taking on Mooroopna, and that should be another flogging out there. And they're actually down there early, Mooroopna. They're down there early now. They're actually practicing the A-men, and they're getting in early. Even the supporters are down there. Just we'll cross live down to the hockey field down there. They're already chanting. I tell you what, though, Michael, when they do win, and I can't wait for that because I'll be down there. I'll probably be the first one on the pitch to invade it, and I'm sure they'll celebrate nice and hard, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can turn it around down there for the Mooroopna Hockey Club, because they are a good little family club down there, and they're busting, away there. So hopefully a win isn't too far away.
That's it. It might be this week. You never know.
Well, why not? We've had 2 weeks off.
Exactly. Strikers are, they're the form team at the moment. They can't do much wrong. They do have at the moment Connor Holland out. He's currently in South Africa playing for the Australian schoolboys, so
that's right.
That is out. Whether or not it makes a difference, but every game of hockey is completely different to the last game of hockey, so there is absolutely no reason they can't come up with...
why not? Richmond went into, or last year, or the Bulldogs went a couple of years ago and said, why not us? So why can't Mooroopna do the same? So fingers crossed that we can get into it and get on board and hopefully get a win for them. Yeah,
that's it. And I know they've been working on not necessarily they're always trying to score goals, but readjusting their goal setting so that they're getting personal wins out of the game to make them feel like they're achieving, and they're kicking those goals.
Wasn't far away from scoring probably 3 to 4 weeks ago now, so things are slowly changing around there at Mooroopna, so goals can't be too far away from hitting the back of the net.
It's only a matter of time and trying.
Well, why not? Let's get him a win. And your mob SYC are taking on Chuka Moema tomorrow, but as here at Shep, pitch 1 starting at 1 o'clock. So another early game tomorrow for you guys.
Yeah, that'll be a really interesting game. Could go either way. Like you said, after the break, who knows what happens. Chuka are a very, very strong team. SYC aren't too bad themselves. It's in Shepparton, so there's the whole not being in Echuca at the ground takes that out of Echuca's hands. So we'll see what happens.
Funny things have happened in other sports, especially if you look at Geelong. The last 7 years we've had the bye introduced. They've played some really ordinary opponents after the bye and never won a game. So who knows what could happen over this weekend of hockey. I'll touch on very quickly here the A-men ladder, like we've touched on. The Strikers are on top, 21 points. Chuka Moema 18, SYC are in third, and then Mooroopna down the bottom, and big donut. So fingers crossed that donut can become a 4-point or a 3-point result there. So hopefully we can turn that around for them.
Yeah, there's a couple of games I'd like to see them win.
It would be nice. One against your mob would be even better.
I'm thinking against Chuka maybe.
Chuka drag them back, and you got to pick that one up tomorrow yourself and go from there. The A women, mate, they're on fire. The Mooroopna A women, they're seriously in some red hot form here, sitting on top of the ladder, and not by a little bit, by a long way.
Yeah, Mooroopna they're just a bunch of really good hockey players being coached by a really good coach, and they're doing really, really simple things, and it just works.
Well, that's what sport's about, isn't
exactly.
it? You do the simple things, and it all pays off. None of that fancy.
All the flashy stuff makes the highlight reels, but at the end of the day, all you need to do is get the ball in the back of the net, and it doesn't matter how you do it.
Doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter who does it or how it gets done. Just put it in the back of the net.
Yep. They've got another week off this week. They get to,
do they?
They do. Unfortunately, Strikers have forfeited that game, so they have to put the sticks back in the bag and maybe go and have, coffee or something instead, which is a shame.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I haven't heard the reason why yet. Maybe I'll find out after I'm off air.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get a result on that one, and best of luck to Mooroopna next week. Now, SYC again, Chuka Moema. How do you think the women are going to go in that game? That's going to be another tight one. There, Michael, SYC ticking along, only 1 point behind Chuka Moema.
It's going to be a very hard game to pick. SYC have got some experience in their team. They've played together for a very long time, and they've got their structure together. Where on the other side of the coin, Echuca have got a lot of really young, really, really talented girls who could be playing, in some cases under 16s, who are playing in their ones, and they're just fantastic players, and they make me look silly on a hockey field, I'll be honest.
Well, there's a lot of girls playing that, not only the A women but the B women, that are really handy and make a lot of people look really silly from what I've seen being down there, especially when I went to the Marupna training there that night. A lot of the men would have got a real flogging from a lot of the women in there. So there's some really strong hockey players coming around there out of the women ranks that could probably go down and play hockey down at Melbourne.
Yeah, certainly could. Then the problem you've got sometimes is that the issue of travelling makes it really hard to commit every week to playing for another club. There are quite a few Shepparton-based players who are playing in Melbourne, who haven't played here for a while, but it's good to watch good players play, no matter what the sport is.
The B-men, that's a bit bigger in the comp-wise. Benalla taking on Euroa at Shep number 1 tonight under lights.
Oh, night game. They're always 7.
No, that was last night.
Oh, it was last night. Oh.
Sorry. No, let's not get too excited. Let me get me dates. Sorry, that was last night. There's no results there. It says not played, but I'm sure it would have been a good game here last night under lights.
I'm sure it would have been. Benalla playing on... Oh, both of them playing away from home, really. But Benalla has an advantage that when they play on a flat field, an AstroTurf field, they're phenomenal because they're used to playing on a field that's choppy and the ball goes everywhere. When they can put it on a stick reliably, they're fantastic. So I think they might have got up, but that's absolutely no knowledge whatsoever.
Now, how do you work out the ladder here? Because I'm looking at the ladder here. Benalla have only played 7. Echuca's only played 8. Strikers have only played 7. Euroa's only played 6. Whereas SYC and Marupna have played 9.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Right, that's an interesting one. Someone will have to ring me about that one at some stage. But Benalla sitting on top there over SYC by a game. Who's in front of Echuca Moama by a game, and then there's a couple of games back to Strikers in 4th, Euroa 5th, and Marupna holding up the bottom there in the B men. Another big game, Echuca Moama versus SYC, and what should be a really close game there today at 1:30.
Yep, that's over in Echuca. Should be, and again, Echuca's got a very strong A-grade team. They've got people who are trying to get into that A-grade team, but they aren't quite on that level yet, so they're playing in the seconds, but same with SYC. It'll be a really strong game. Probably, I'm going to get killed for this, but it'll probably go to Echuca, that game.
Oh, someone's not going to be happy later on.
No,
and
they're not.
Marupna taking on the Strikers at 6 o'clock tonight down here at Shep pitch number 1. So Bob should nearly be actually just getting home.
Yeah, but will he want to play in the seconds? Is the question.
No, he won't.
He's definitely a
He
first
will
kind of
have jet lag, I think, poor Bob. And they've only had a couple of draws there, Marupna, so you think that'd be another easy result to the Strikers, where they should pick up their 4th win?
Probably. Marupna's B grade have got a lot of very, very young players.
A lot of kids. A lot of kids coming through down there, which is probably good for their future development at the club. So fingers crossed they can keep those kids holding out around there.
Yeah, that's going to be their key for not just next year, but years on, in terms of their A-grade team being a force to be reckoned with again.
And we've got the B women also very good. Benalla have got the bye. Echuca Kyabram taking on SYC up at Echuca again today at 3 o'clock. How do you see that one going down?
It's going to SYC.
Okay,
yeah,
that's pretty easy result there. Marupna taking on the Strikers at 4:30 down here at Shep. Another tight one, you reckon?
Yeah, I really don't know. I'm just trying to think the last time I saw either of those teams play. So it would have been
Marupna,
a while ago.
Top 6 and 2 and 18 points. Benalla sitting a game behind in second. Echuca a game behind them. SYC and then Strikers struggling to hold up the bottom of the ladder.
Well, then clearly by form we'll go with Marupna.
Marupna
are going to win that one.
So fingers crossed there for Marupna. Mate, any other hockey news going on around the world?
Yeah, Connor Holland's over in South Africa playing for Australian schoolboys, like I mentioned earlier. They've played 2 games so far. They drew their first game, which I think was on Tuesday night, against South African schoolboys 4-4.
It was a good game.
And a very good game from what I saw. I wasn't able to find scorers, so I couldn't find out if Connor did score. And then the second game they played Thursday, I think. I'm trying to figure out time zones and things.
That's all right. It's a tough one.
Yeah, and the Australians came away with the win. That one 6-3, so really good scoring.
Another really good score.
Yeah. And then on the international stage, Kookaburras won their 15th Champions Trophy. It's the last one. They're moving on to a different competition now.
A stronger one, or...?
It's the same teams, but it's a different format now. So instead of being one tournament in a place once a year, they're having a home and away season. So there's going to be 4 games in Australia, 4 games in Melbourne. I think there's 8 or 10 games in Australia in February next year, and then they go around the world.
So and they'll travel over to, say, the Netherlands and
Belgium and India. Yeah, we'll actually go
wow.
around the world, which is a much better way of doing it, I think.
To travel the world.
Yeah, it would be fantastic. If only it was good enough.
What a game.
The Hockey Roos, which are the women's team, they fly out for the World Cup. I can't remember where that was. They fly out this week. It starts in a week's time.
Nice.
And I think that was all I've got.
Awesome. Yeah. A good wrap there this morning.
Thanks.
I like it. Mate, we'll send it straight back down to Melbourne there a minute into the news, so we'll pick up where the news has left off, and we'll continue this chat next week.